Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a truly fascinating resource that sits exactly at the intersection of human psychology and high-stakes communication. We are looking at the Coach's Guide to NLP and Public Speaking. If you're looking for the ultimate coach's guide to better speech, you really have to look beyond just the actual words being spoken. Because let's be honest, simply telling someone to speak up or make eye contact just doesn't cut it anymore, right? We need a much deeper framework. We have to look at the psychological underpinnings of exactly how words connect with an audience. And that is exactly what we're exploring today, a highly targeted, incredibly sophisticated approach to fundamentally better speech.
Now, before we get into the heavy psychological concepts, I want you to think about the number 34, because 34 is the exact length in pages of the source document we're analyzing today. Inside these 34 pages lies a unique, highly concentrated intersection of neuro-linguistic programming and speech coaching. We aren't looking at some bloated academic textbook filled with fluff. No way. We're looking at immediate, actionable strategies. It shows us exactly how a coach can instantly alter a speaker's nervous trajectory using simple physiological anchors, literally long before they even step up to the microphone. For the focused learner, it is efficiency at its absolute finest.
So, you might be wondering what actually makes this guide different from the thousands of other public speaking manuals floating around out there. Like, why would a standard speech coach need a dedicated guide specifically for neuro-linguistic programming? Well, think about it like this. If a speaker has memorized their lines flawlessly and their posture is totally perfect, why do they sometimes still completely fail to move an audience? It's because traditional coaching so often ignores the speaker's internal monologue. If a speaker's internal narrative is just, oh man, I hope I don't mess up, the audience subconsciously detects that anxiety. They really do. NLP addresses that invisible architecture. It's the difference between simply delivering a bunch of information and actively shaping exactly how that information is received.
Which brings us to Section 1, the coaching revolution. We're looking at a complete paradigm shift in how the role of the mentor is fundamentally changing.
To really understand this gap, we have to contrast two very different approaches. On one hand, you have traditional speech coaching. This is the mechanical side of the house, right? Controlling your breathing, counting your pauses, minimizing your ums and ahs. And sure, that's absolutely essential, but it's very surface level. On the flip side, you have NLP-enhanced coaching. This is where a modern coach isn't just acting as a director, they become a psychological architect. Let's say a coach realizes a speaker is a highly visual learner. Well, instead of just giving them generic advice to listen for the applause to build confidence, an NLP coach will prompt them to picture the audience smiling and nodding. This subtly shifts their entire physical posture. It anchors a state of confidence based on how their specific brain processes information. It's a completely different, infinitely deeper toolkit. Moving right along to Section 2, decoding NLP in speech. Let's demystify exactly how this internal reprogramming actually works. So the crucial point is really captured in this foundational framework. Now, I know neuro-linguistic programming sounds a bit like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it is incredibly practical. The neuro just refers to the speaker's nervous system. The linguistic is the actual words they use, and the programming represents their behavioral patterns. By actively changing the specific words a speaker uses to describe their presentation while they're just hanging out in the green room, a coach literally programs a completely new behavioral response for when they get on stage. It's absolutely not about manipulation. It's all about alignment. It's about bypassing that crippling anxiety and perfectly aligning the speaker's true intent with their physical delivery. That is the secret to truly better speech. What's absolutely brilliant here is how the guide chops this massive, complex psychological concept into three totally manageable, actionable pillars. First up is mindset. This is where a coach uses reframing techniques. For example, they actively work with the speaker to take that terrifying feeling of stage fright and completely reframe it into performance energy. It's a total game changer. Second, we have linguistics. This goes way beyond just picking good vocabulary. It involves highly specific tactics like using embedded commands to subtly guide the audience's emotions and seamlessly bypass their natural resistance to new ideas. And finally, performance. This explains how that rewired mindset and those carefully crafted linguistic patterns physically manifest outwardly into highly congruent, totally magnetic body language. And all of this culminates right here in Section 3, the 34-page roadmap. This is a step-by-step guide for coaches to bring it all together. Having unpacked those heavy concepts of mindset, linguistics, and performance, we can really appreciate the flow of this roadmap. It's built for immediate, sequential application. A coach literally takes this tool right into the initial consultation to dismantle a client's mental blocks right out of the gate.
Then they use it during the drafting phase to embed those powerful linguistic patterns directly into the script itself. Finally, they bring it right into the dress rehearsal to finalize those performance anchors and fix posture. It is a complete, end-to-end system for building a vastly more impactful speaker. Ultimately, everything we've explored from this highly concentrated guide leads us to one final, absolutely critical thought. Next time you step up to the microphone, or when you coach someone else to take that stage, are your words just being heard, or are they being programmed? Because hearing is totally passive. It's literally just sound waves hitting an eardrum. But programming, using the deep psychological frameworks of NLP, that means your words are actively structuring an experience. You're sparking real emotions, and you're driving tangible action in the minds of your audience. And honestly, that is the ultimate goal of any coach's guide to better speech. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and until next time, keep refining how you connect with the world.